We're on the water.
We
with
are.
the baby.
With the baby. Hey baby girl, this is your first voyage. We're not going very far today.
No, we won't be leaving this canal.
Or like a week.
Yep, this was true. We were waiting on parts for our new mainsail. Boats.
Yep, that's alright. We're taking things slow this year. Just chilling, learning how to sail with a baby.
It is a beautiful glassy morning. There is not a ripple on the water. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. We're about to start our 4th sailing season on the water, and our first season with our baby girl, Renata. The #1 goal is no stress.
No deadlines, no schedules.
No destinations.
Oh, we're just going nowhere.
Nowhere! Where you going? Nowhere!
We're gonna go anchor right out over there. And that'll be it for the next 4 or 5 days while we wait for some packages to come in so that we can hoist our sails. Watch your head. Birds.
Huh?
We're on our way. Check 1, anchoring with a baby. First day at anchor. We didn't really get anything done. All we did was chill. Watched Renata, got her comfortable with the boat. Tomorrow will be the day to get some stuff done. This is why it's so important to inspect all of your gear. Usually, when I take the lines out of the locker every year and before I put them away, I metal wax all of the rigging. Somehow this one made it up the mast, connected to my furling gear before I even realized. There's a pretty significant crack in that shackle. So now I'm gonna take our jib halyard, and instead of running it to here, I'm gonna just run it straight to here. You don't really need this snap shackle because we don't switch head sails really ever, but it's important to note that the previous owners installed this jib halyard like days before we toured the boat. So this thing's 4 years old and it was in fresh water for a year, and it's already busted. A little diver.
Seize the day, love.
Seize the day. Ready? This is gonna be so big, isn't it?
Go somewhere.
Okay. First ride in Romsky Doodle.
Now that we're on the water, I'm excited to get in the water. Not this water,
Yes.
but ocean water.
Nobody fell overboard. I think the first dinghy ride with the baby went pretty well. What are we having?
We are having Madra's lentils. Our go-to when we really don't want to spend more than 15 minutes cooking. Oh, and some pineapple. Bonus pineapple.
Yeah. This is the first time on the boat so far that I've kind of had to myself. Lauren and Renata are sleeping up in the V-berth. It's pretty rare, actually, being on the boat with a baby and getting some time to yourself. Seems like one of us is always taking care of her, feeding her, and if we're not doing that, that's like the time we get to like do stuff. We've been at anchor here in the freshwater lagoon, about 4 miles away from where we launched, for the past week. And we're not here necessarily by choice. We had some parts for our new mainsail that were incorrect, so we've shipped in hopefully the correct parts and we can get the sail hoisted today. That basically meant we've kind of been stranded for a week without a sail. And previously, I would have looked at that situation and been kind of upset about not being able to go be cruising. But it's been a pretty magical week because we've been in almost a paradise. There's very, very little boat traffic. It's extremely protected from the winds. There's no houses around. It feels like we're anchored out in the middle of nowhere, and we've had no real agenda, no deadlines, nowhere to go, nowhere to be, just spending time with our baby.
Aww. Hi, baby.
Watching her grow and learn and take in the sights. Did you figure it out that it's a reflection?
Definitely not.
Did you figure it out? Just watching life roll on through her eyes.
Tripping out, man.
And it has been just incredible. I don't know, I've had like, I guess you could almost call it like similar to like a runner's high all week. I've just been so pleasantly happy with all of the little things of life. Whereas looking at things last year, I would have been bummed because we weren't able to go anywhere, and now with a baby, it was amazing. Yeah, she doesn't like them because they're cold. Oh, here. You can play some drums. Okay, watch your toes, Renata.
What are you making?
I am making a tuna salad. And I have a little sous chef here to help. She's not helping very much at all. In fact, I'd probably fire her if this were a real job. We have been chasing a timeline and an agenda and a destination, even though we've tried really hard to drop that from our our lexicon while sailing. This truly feels like the first time we've been cruisers. It's so windy out.
Don't blow away. Ah! Where do you want to go? Where you want?
I'm trying to look at the winch again, I think.
Oh, you want to look at the winch? Is that what you want? There's lots of trippy things on a sail going on.
Both kinds of trippy. Lauren and I have never felt like our boat was a destination. Like we were always missing something. We always wanted to go to shore to go grocery shopping, or we needed to be somewhere else to try and find surf, or to go get parts for repairs, or we felt exiled out on the boat. Part of it is that our boat doesn't have very good access to the water, so there's no gate right here to get down to like a swim platform, so that feels a little bit limiting. I think part of it is also our boat is a bit small for us. I don't physically fit very well anywhere in the boat. It's always a bit of a struggle, but having Renata on board has made our boat feel like a destination. Like it is the place.
Her looking at me cutting vegetables and fruit is awesome.
Super adorable.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't fall off there and you try and catch her and then stab her with the knife. That would be awful. Oh, the drool's all over Daddy. Oh.
Where's that baby? Where's that baby?
We've just really enjoyed spending time on the boat, watching the world go by. And it's been awesome. So I've got a pretty calm day here because we've had a lot of wind. We just picked up our parts yesterday at the marina. So I am going to get our mainsail hoisted hopefully today. I've got to install a couple of batten cars for our Tides Marine sail track, and I've got to cut the battens. The battens that Precision Sails sent us were too short, so they sent us some new batten material, but it's a giant roll. So I've got to measure it out and cut it. That's how they came. This is what they look like after I cut them. I got the battens cut. Now I need to install the batten cars on the sail. To do that, I'm gonna have to hoist the sail up part of the way, insert the batten to kind of figure out exactly where the batten cars need to go, because I actually have to drill holes through the sail to attach the batten cars. So this is what we're working with. Marked my 2 holes so I can back the batten out. Line that up, mark the other 4 holes. Cutting board underneath, drill. All while fighting thousands of no-see-ums. They're out in full force. Beautiful. No holes over here. So now we put on the backing plate. So I only got the 2 full battens in at the top. I gotta get the 2 partials in still. But so far so good. It's gonna be tough to see right now, but it's pretty sexy Tartan 37 emblems up there. So we got 2 reef points on this sail. We got a very deep first reef. So what we noticed is that the first reef on our old mainsail did almost nothing for us. We would almost always go to the second reef. So we decided to move that first reef up a bit, so it takes a big chunk out of the sail. And then the second reef is almost at the 3rd reef point. We also got a bit of a roach. Just a little bit of curve up at the top. It's tough to tell. But that halyard coming down is a straight line, so anything that way from the halyard, which is acting as my topping lift, that's extra roach in the sail. Yoo! New mainsail! So excited to try this out. for a week, and it kind of feels like we're leaving home.
We've been here longer than a week, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been here a week and a half.
Love, it's our first sail today of the season.
It is.
And our first sail with the baby.
And our first sail with a new mainsail.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about how, looking at all of our footage, like pretty much all the time I hear, oh, it's the first time we're doing this, it's the first time we're doing that. I guess when you keep changing things up, you're gonna keep having firsts. We didn't know it just yet, but our first sail with Renata would have to wait. Making it through the lock ended up being much more difficult than we anticipated.
Well, that was a bit of a screw up. We tried to go through the lock here to get out to Port Charlotte. What is it called? Gasparilla Sound. And the lock is manually operated. We've been through it 5 times now. This is gonna be our 6th time. You pull a chain, it opens the door, you go in, you pull a chain inside and it closes the door, and then it cracks the next door and like lets water in or out, and then you let go. And you're supposed to let the water equalize. And then you pull the chain again, and then it opens that door to let you out. Well, we pulled the chain again, and then it opened the door that we had just come through. So then it starts filling back up to the freshwater side. Meanwhile, I went out and sort of just looked at the water levels outside because we thought we'd have plenty of water, but there's been a pretty strong northern wind which blows water out of Gasparilla Sound, and I think it blew more water out than I thought, and there just was not enough water for us on the other side of the lock anyhow. So I think karma or fate or something was telling us don't keep going through the lock. So we backed ourselves out of there and looked like fools in front of 3 or 4 fishermen boats that were trying to come out, and I heard them go into the lock and they were all talking about us. Now we're just anchored here. We've got 5 or 6 hours that we have to probably wait until the tide's high enough tonight, and then we're gonna sail tomorrow. So 24 hours from now, we will have our first sail. Oh, freedom, just on the other side of that lock. Man, if you thought sailboats were slow while they were going underway, doing like 30 miles a day, here we are sitting for 24 hours just to get a couple 100 feet away. There's an alligator over here. I'm gonna see if I can get a shot. You looking for that big beach ball in the sky? Where's your big beach ball? Well, we thought we were going to make it through the lock last night, and we are still in the lake here. We had a 1.3 foot tide last night, and we've been through that lock on a 1/2 foot tide, and the water was the lowest we had ever seen it. We were really on the fence last night. I actually went out and depth sounded all the way out the channel with a paddle board. I use my stand-up paddle as like a sounding post, I guess, or stake. Felt the bottom every like 5 feet all the way out the channel, and it was really close. That most of it was like up to my chin, which is about 5.5 feet, but there were a few spots that I hit that were like between my belly button and my like mid chest area. So we definitely would not have made it through that.
Yeah.
Yeah! The wind is supposed to come out of the south tomorrow all day. It's been coming out of the east all day today. So hopefully that's enough time for the water to come back into the bay. We're gonna get Publix delivery tomorrow morning because we're running a little bit low on food. And we're gonna try again tomorrow night.
Hi! Hi!
There she is! We've been in this now for what?
Over 2 weeks.
Yeah. Starting to get a little restless.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat.
Freaking love this motor. So quiet, so easy to handle. Always have free source of fuel. Always starts, always runs. No maintenance. Not making any emissions. No gas fumes. No loud puttering. Very cool.
Taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights. I've got to run this show. You always take me so high. You always make the highlight. I love the way we vibe. You're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind
You ready to give this another go?
Yeah. Hoping we can make it out this time.
of potion. Loving is devotion. Ooh, that sugar.
Yay! We made it through the lock. We made it through the lock. All right. Well, we made it through the lock.
We made it through the lock, yeah.
Okay, now is this tight bend here with very shallow water.
All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing.
Soulianis is back in the salt water. The sketchiest part is 5 and 6.
Make it right, little like an offer I can refuse.
What do you got?
6.5 right now.
Look at baby, those are pelicans.
I've got to run this show. You always take me so high. You always make the highlight.
Did we do it? Did we do it?
I saw 6.2, that was it.
Woohoo! We're going to the ocean!
Got what I need. Sipping on the potion.
So how's it feel to be breastfeeding at 6 knots?
I can't decide if it feels normal or ridiculous.